Hi everybody, this is Kevin, and welcome back to another video. And today I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on Atelier Ryza 2, Lost Legends and the Secret Fairy, which is a game that released back in 2020 on the PS4, PS5, Nintendo Switch, and PC. No Xbox. For whatever reason, the Xbox doesn't have any good JRPGs, but that's another story. And this, of course, is the sequel to Atelier Ryza 1, Ever Darkness and the Secret Hideout, which I reviewed on the channel back in November. Check out my video game reviews playlist if you haven't already seen it, but definitely play this game before playing the sequel, which the sequel takes place 3 years after the ending of the first game. And I've been going through all these again in anticipation of Atelier Ryza 3, which is due out on March 24th. So let's get to the review. Now, I'm going to have major spoilers for the ending of this game, to set the groundwork for Ryza 2. But as far as major stuff that happens in this game, I will let you know when I get to the spoilers, which will be the second half of the video. I will let you know, but at the start here, I got to talk about the ending of the first Ryza game. So if you haven't played any of these games, then I guess play them and come back to the video. But as far as Ryza 1, such a sweet game that started with the main character, Rysalind Stout, waking up one morning saying, I want to go on one last adventure with my friends because it was the summer before they turned 18 and they were going to become adults, go their separate ways. So they went on one last adventure together. They encountered these two characters, Empel and Leela, learning about alchemy, and then encountered a place known as the Underworld and the creatures that dwell within it, the Felucia, who were invading Kirkin Island. And our heroes didn't save the world, but they saved the island. And in the epilogue, all the characters went their separate ways. Empel and Leela continued looking for more ruins to prevent the Underworld from being unsealed again. You had Claudia and her father go their separate ways because her father's a traveling merchant. Tao decided to go to the capital to study and go to school. And then Lent went to become a warrior, went all by himself to, train and become more powerful. And Ryza stayed on the island, becoming a school teacher the past 3 years. So that's how Ryza 1 ended. Ryza 2 starts, like I said, 3 years later. Ryza receiving a letter from her friend Tao, who says he uncovered these ruins. And he thinks that Ryza's alchemy can help figure out what the ruins are all about. And so she sets a course, gets on the boat, travels to the capital, and reunites with her friends and new friends, slowly but surely. So another interesting note is before Ryza leaves, the only belonging she brings is what she thinks is a stone. And like 3 hours into the game, you figure out it's actually an egg. It attaches into the mascot character of the game, this cute little guy, Fee. And she's given this stone by Moritz Brunnen, that's Bose's father. And he's like, I don't know what the fuck this is. You take it. You have alchemy. You'll figure it out. So she takes it with her. And, it's a really cute way how Ryza doesn't necessarily forget how to do alchemy and craft weapons and stuff. Because, you're not going to have your OP weapons and items that you crafted at the end of the first Ryza game. And what happens is, Ryza doesn't bring any of her belongings, any of her tools, her wood cutting axe, her fishing rod, her, her wind shoes, which you can walk really fast or whatever. She doesn't bring any of her tools. You got to recraft them. So I thought that was a cute way to do that, to reset things, so that she doesn't necessarily forget how to craft or use alchemy, but, she doesn't have the OP weapons and tools you had at the end of the first game. And then also really cool how in your first battle, she's all by herself and encounters a Puni, which is basically this game's version of a slime from Dragon Quest. And this dude, Clifford, helps her. You don't know his name then, but because he joins the party later. But he's the stereotypical thief job class, in that he's got like his cowboy hat on, a bandana covering his face. And he's like, oh, what's a little lady like you doing out here? I'll help you. And that's your tutorial to learn in combat again. But, you get through that, make your way to the capital, you reunite with Tao, and then Bose. Bose just doesn't join the party in this game, and he was in the first game, too, as an NPC, relevant to the plot. But in the third game, they've already kind of spoiled this with all the characters, because they said all the characters from Ryza 1 and Ryza 2 are returning, as well as new playable characters, such as Bose and a few others. So that's why I'm even more excited for Ryza 3, but anyway. So you end up going to the first ruin, and you get another party member named Patricia, who is a student of Tao's. And Tao really evolved in a good way in this game, in that like he was a shy, timid kid in the first game, and here he grew up in the 3 years, he got taller, and now he dual wields 2 different swords, whereas in the first game he was more of a defensive magic user. So I like that he's evolved a bit and has 2 swords now. And then you have Patricia, like I said, who has a katana. Then you meet Claudia again. She's like the healer. And in the first game as well, all she did was heal, but now she wields a bow and arrow. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, after the first ruin expedition, the stone glows, and then you go back to the Atelier, which is a room that you rent from Patricia and her father, and it glows again, and then the thing hatches, and you meet, like I said, this adorable little guy named Fee, who, that's all he says. He goes, Fee, Fee! And so Ryza calls him Fee, and I don't know what the discourse is online, because I really haven't delved deep into it, but I do know a lot of mascot characters get thrown in the mud, specifically Morgana from Persona 5, but I really enjoyed Fee. I thought he was a great character, and we'll get to more of that in the spoiler discussion at the second half of the video. But yeah, Fee was so cute, and the sounds that he makes, so sweet. There's so many adorable scenes of Ryza and Fee, and even some of the other characters. But yeah, you eventually, you know, find these other ruins, and usually you have to craft a certain item to go to the next ruin. Like there's an underwater ruin, you have to craft something that you can breathe underwater with. And I like how they made the crafting system better. Like the crafting system was pretty easy to understand the first game, but in the second game, it's locked behind a skill tree, so you don't have everything all at once. And as you know, defeat enemies and do jobs and side quests and stuff, you get skill points unlocking in the skill tree. So it's not overwhelming like it kind of was in the first game. So I enjoyed that. And also the combat, there's like action commands. It's turn-based, but it's ATB, so it's constantly moving. You got to be on your toes. And if you time things right, you can do more damage. So the combat's more fast-paced. It's not like a JRPG where you just like press X to win. You sit there, you got to think it out, cycle through your characters, and some good shit. So yeah, Claudia rejoins the party. Like I said, Clifford joins the party. He's a treasure hunter, not a thief. He constantly reminds you guys that he's a treasure hunter. You also encounter Leela and Empel again, though they don't join the party. They're just there as NPCs. This other chick named Seri, who is of the Orin race. And I gotta say, Ryza is absolutely gorgeous. She's beautiful. But those Orin babes, like Leela and then Seri, they are smoking, man. I don't know what they feed the Orin babes in the underworld, but they are smoking. And Seri was definitely the underrated waifu here. And then finally, you know, Lent rejoins the party as well. And his entrance was so fucking badass, how he helped. So yeah, I'm going to cut now to show you some gameplay, and then I will warn you once I get to the spoilers, because I'll show you screenshots, and that'll be the spoiler warning. So sit tight, and I will be right back. Okay, here we are. Let's start actually with the trophies, because I did get the platinum here. It's pretty easy to get them all. These are all story-based, like the first few. This is like 30 minutes into the game. You see 95% when you make it to the capital or whatever. Or cross the sea, you're on the boat. I hate when these games do this, like when you get a trophy and the screen's dark like that. Like, come on, give me a nice commemorative image. Like I said, there's a lot of these images in this game with Fee and like the anime illustration art. So cute. Look at this little guy, Fee. But yeah, these first few are all story-based. Up here, again, another day, that's the ending. And then these, you can do side quests by interacting with each of the party members and other NPCs. And they're good to get more additional story information. So, of course, I did all of them. Easy enough. These are, like, certain items you have to craft. Like, this one is the one breathing underwater, etc., etc. You can do these jobs. I guess they're called side quests. And just help out the people in the capital. And by doing that, you get your reputation with certain people, like citizens, aristocrats, merchants, etc., etc. Get all the decoration items, all the tools. I love the animations Ryza makes when you craft too, and the sound she makes. Normally, I don't really care for Japanese-only dubs. Like, I like English dubs, but her voice actress, so cute, man. I love the sound she made. Get a level 99 item. What was that? I think I got all my items to 99. But that's easy. You just do like item rebuild. So this is just, if you do enough stuff in the game, you'll get it all. The skill tree. All that good stuff. And that's the final boss at the end. So let's boot it up and see what we got. I guess I'll show you a battle. I'll show you all the outfits too, because I did buy the DLC. Which I bought the DLC in the first game because there was an optional area to visit, and what they called episodes, which were kind of similar to Final Fantasy 15, where you could play as Prompto, Ignis, Gladiolus, Arden. In Ryza 1, you could play from the perspective of a certain character. In this game, they didn't have that. They had optional areas. I think there was 2 optional ruins to explore, and then, of course, DLC outfits. So I was kind of let down there was no episodes to do, but the optional areas to explore were fun. I think they had, like, DLC-specific items, too, to craft, which were pretty OP. And all that stuff. The loading screens, man. This is from Koei Tecmo and Gus, so it's kind of a cheaper JRPG. It's not a AAA, as they say, right? So just bear with this loading screen for a minute. The music in this game was absolutely fantastic. They have quite a few battle themes. There's the first half of the game and then the second half of the game. And then most bosses have specific themes. So I thought the music was freaking incredible, man. Koei Tecmo, Gust. And I think it's going to play the open. Yeah, it's the opening. You guys can look that up on YouTube if you want. It's like 2 minutes long. Alright. So let's load. And the cool thing about you could do this in the first game too. You could change the wall and the floors and everything and add decorations. What I love so much about the sequel, this is the whole party too, by the way, all together. They added the skill tree, like I said, so it's not overwhelming for crafting. You go at your own pace. Like in the first game, all these craftable items were there, but you just didn't have the materials. Here, you go at your own pace and like, oh, I want the bug net. I want the wind shoes. I want the woodcutter's axe. So it's not overwhelming. A Knight's Edition, I like that. Crafting. Go over here. And just listen to the sound she makes. Let's do this real quick. Right? And she does like a little dance. So that's like crafting. You got that. Let's see some of the outfits. Changing room. Right. So Ryza has the most outfits. This was from the first game. I think that's because I had a save file from the first game. That's from Atelier Sophie, which is another game that released a few years ago. The bathing suit. Hell yeah. And this one, which they just released a pre-order for this figure. They're making a killing on the Ryza figures, that's for sure. Claudia, that's from the first game. And they gotta have the bikinis. Lent, I love Lent's design in this game. Definitely an improvement with his, like, battle-torn cape there. So badass. Tao. Right. Patricia. Oh my. She's like wearing nothing there. Clifford, the treasure hunter. And Sari. Look at this chick. Bitter chocolate. God damn. Alright. So let me show you a battle real quick. These are all the areas. This one and this one are DLC. I couldn't beat the boss here. He's way too powerful. So let's just go here and I'll do a quick battle. And I played this game on normal. So, there they are. They're running from me because I'm so OP. So my party was mostly Ryza, Sari, Clifford, and then Lent in the back row. And you just go like that. Switch to Sari. Do Leaf Slicer. There we go. Listen to this music too, dude. Fucking rocking. And you just cycle through the characters and do a shit ton of damage. Right? Mortal Impact! Plus they're gonna do all their special moves now. Alright, so I'm OP as fuck, so that battle was nothing, but you get an idea of how it goes. So now, this is the spoiler warning. I'm going to show you some of the screenshots. And, you've been warned. So yeah, one of the big things that happens in the game is you learn that, Fee is a creature of the underworld, and him being in the human realm, he can't sustain life and gets sick. And at the end of the game, you have to make a choice whether or not, you know, you want Fee to stay with you for a short while or send him back to the underworld. And it's a really heartfelt goodbye. By going to the ruins, you encounter these crystals, which give Fee a little bit more life, but it doesn't last long. So Ryza is absolutely gorgeous. She's beautiful, man. This is like when you meet Clifford. He's like, "Oh, what's a little lady doing like you? I'll help you, young lady." So you got that good stuff. This is the opening where you see, like, Lent. He's the last party member to rejoin you, where he's sort of disillusioned in the end, but you go up against this boss, which you lose to, and then he shows up and helped you in the boss fight. So I thought that was an epic entrance. Look at this sweet scene with Ryza and Fee. Meeting Bose and Clifford. There's some funny scenes, too, with Bose, where they're bickering like an old married couple. The ass shot, of course. And the other crawling shot. Right, so you craft all these things. This is when Fee hatches. Such a sweet moment. The egg starts glowing and Fee hatches and he goes, "Fee! Fee!" So sweet, man. Clifford joins the party. This is the heartfelt reunion with Ryza and Claudia. And that's the thing, too. You see the necklace on Fee? When Fee hatched, Ryza was wearing that necklace and gave it to him. So sweet. So many great moments like that. Here's when they're like bickering like an old married couple. Let's say, "I have a present for you, Bose." Oh yeah, she crafts him something. See, she's blushing. This is you can pass the day the time. There's a day-night cycle, and you get this cutscene. Like, look at this, dude! Holy fuck! Ryza at her 90, snuggling with the little guy. What a lucky bastard that Fee is. Here's her face learning new recipes from the book. Oh, this was a great moment where they're taking a nap out there. So in one of the ruins, you know, Patricia's this young girl who is very inexperienced. She gets attacked by an enemy and falls down, and Fee rescues her. He grabs her and, like, you know, uses his little wings to help her get up, and so Tao can grab her. The little hero. Re-encountering Empel and Leela. Right. There's Lent again. Oh my god, this screenshot is absolutely hilarious. Read this caption. "All done. This is about the most slippery lubricant you could ask for. One of the doors was shut. They couldn't figure out how to open it. So she's like, let me craft this lubricant." Like, what? Oh, here's Sari. Great character design. All the waifus. There's Fee with what'd she say there? "I'm gonna turn you into a proper assistant. Tea time with all the ladies." So good stuff. This is Lent coming back, right? They're getting their ass kicked by this boss, and he comes in. "Everyone's still alive." "Lent, what are you doing here?" "There's no time to talk. We have to get out of here. Everyone run." Coming in to save the day. So, yeah, you find out that Fee's getting sick because he needs these underworld crystals, and he's all grumpy. He's pouting. And you look at this scene. Tickle, tickle, tickle. Aww. Tickling the little guy. And yeah, anytime Fee, he really took a liking to Bose. Every time he saw Bose, he wanted to go on his head. "Or to discipline your pets, Ryza." This is Clifford and Ryza figuring out about the treasure. Another sad scene with Fee getting tired from being sick, being fatigued. Look at the face. Fee! What else do I have? Here's Sari with her fatal drive. This is after completing all Lent's quests. Everyone's, you know, praising him. Which I love the character development with Lent. His fatal drive is called Eisenkampfel, which is the same name of the attack that Leela did. He took inspiration from her attacks. Oh, and this was kind of a ship going on. Where Patricia was in the level of Tau, but he wasn't having any of it. What everyone else knew. And yeah, the poor little guy. So, yeah, and then Sari, what she wanted to do was cure, because the underworld is being infected. She wanted to cure it for the Orin people, and found this flower that had healing properties. So she made all these different seeds and starts making these flowers blossom everywhere, and gave it as a gift to Ryza. So many sweet moments. I love the game, man. I absolutely love this game. So this is, again, more spoilers. At the end, after you defeat the final boss, you gotta say goodbye to Fee. And that's just what she does. I love you, Fee, always and forever. And Fee leaves. And you get like a montage of all the scenes early on. And all throughout the game, Fee goes, Fee, Fee! That's the only sound it makes. But at the very end, Ryza, dude, I fucking cried too. At the very end, Fee says, I love you, Mama. And actually talks, I love you, Mama. And says goodbye. Such a beautiful ending. And then, after that, after the final boss, it doesn't end because Ryza has to go back home. And so there's individual goodbyes of each of the characters. Again, dude, I was fucking shook. I was crying, man. It's such a sad... Because, you know, Ryza's like, well, I did what I had to do, so I'm going to go back home to my island. And you say goodbye to everybody. And here's at the end all the other screenshots. They had, like, the different, you know, art. Yeah, because when Fee leaves, there's no more Fee. So, beautiful, beautiful game. That's the Felucia, the evil creatures from the underworld. So yeah, I fucking loved it. I absolutely loved it. Let me just go back to the game too, and I want to play one of the tracks.
Ryza no Atelier 2. 失われた伝承と秘密の妖精.
Okay, so one last thing I wanted to show you guys was just a taste of the soundtrack, some of my favorite songs. So this one, where is it? This is Sari's theme. I love this track. Just listen to it for a bit. So, oh, we're playing it. But anyway, you get the idea. Such a calming track. I absolutely loved it. They had quite a few of the battle themes, like I said. I mean, just look up the whole OST is great. Definitely worth listening to. I've listened to it in the background. Good shit. And then here's I showed you this stuff before. And yeah, you can see all the characters again. Again, dude. Look at this. She's so fucking hot, man. But anyway, let me cut back to myself now. But yeah, I absolutely loved Atelier Ryza 2, and I highly recommend it. Though I will say, you gotta play Atelier Ryza 1 first, play Atelier Ryza 2, and then get ready for Atelier Ryza 3 on March 24th. They're relatively short games. It doesn't have like a game clock, which is kind of a shame. But I would say I probably clocked in around 40 hours on each game. They're not terribly long. I did all the side quests and everything, so if you're just rushing through the main story, 25, 30 hours. And I can't wait to see Ryza 2, all the characters returning in the party, and exploring, you know, old areas and new areas, and see what happens. I wonder, because of how Ryza mentioned how she wants to see Fee again, I would like to think we're going to go back to the underworld, and how cool would it be to have Fee return in some form or another. And for me, Ryza at the end in the epilogue has to get married to Bose. That's my wish. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thought in the comments down below, and stay tuned for more videos coming soon. Have a great day, guys.